Your Honor.
Mr. Wissmann.
Your Honor. Point of
Mr.
personal privilege.
Mr. Wissmann.
Personal privilege.
Mr. Wissmann.
All right. To build on what Ms. McDaniel said, sometimes the city buys property or we settle lawsuits. Maybe that other party is willing to pay $50,000. What if they find out that we're willing to pay $100,000? Do you think that we're going to pay $50,000 to settle that lawsuit or to buy that property? Hell no. We won't pay a penny less than $100,000. We'll probably pay more. And that's one reason why the Illinois Open Meetings Act allows us to go into closed session. Because when we tip our hands and reveal our bargaining positions, we actually end up hurting our citizens and not serving them.
That's exactly right.
How do we responsibly serve our citizens if we're paying $50,000 more than we should for anything? That's $50,000 we could be spending to help children at the Boys and Girls Club, or helping victims or survivors of domestic violence at the Women's Center. We could use it to fix up or repair sidewalks. We could hire another police officer or firefighter and help promote public safety. We could cut taxes a little bit. We could do anything other than overpay. I can tell you, in one case in my tenure on the city council, the mere knowledge that the city was looking at buying a piece of property caused the price to go up $30,000. We probably would have paid $50,000 more. But we got rooked out at $30,000 because information got out. The owner thought the city had bottomless pockets, and that's $30,000 we could have spent on damn near anything that would have been better than what we did. In lawsuits, we frequently require confidentiality when we make settlements. Why? Because when the next plaintiff comes around, they won't accept anything less than what we paid the last time, even if their cases aren't quite as good. How does that serve you? So yes, we do occasionally make, to use the parlance of the week, backroom deals, but I can't think of a single instance where we did so outside the confines of the law, and we have always revealed everything our state's sunshine laws required us to make open to the public, and in many instances substantially more. When we have bought property, for instance, we don't do that in closed session. We negotiate the price and then we bring it out here, and this is where we make the purchase. Now, despite Ms. Adams' insinuations where this measure, the last one we were talking about, was concerned, none of us violated the Open Meetings Act. None of us had conflicts of interest. None of us were offered or accepted bribes. And if Ms. Adams has evidence to the contrary, which she doesn't because there isn't any, she should produce it or shut up. Of course she has a First Amendment right, and I defend it, to keep running her mouth. But she also has a responsibility to the truth. And here the facts did not support her allegations, so she chose to dispense with them. The rest of us, we have a First Amendment right too, as well as a moral obligation, and that's to hold her accountable. So make no mistake, her objections had nothing to do with the merits or demerits of the proposal, despite all of what she said earlier, or the ethics of the process that brought the measure to the agenda tonight. They're just another long string of instances of her using asinine bullying tactics. When she doesn't get her way, Ms. Adams' default position is never to argue the merits of a position, but to declare her opponents corrupt. She did that when the majority of the council wanted to hire Mr. Beatty as city manager, and she mendaciously accused us of violating the Open Meetings Act. She did that when the city considered hiring the Southernmost Illinois Tourism Bureau, and she falsely accused me of having a conflict of interest. And now,
point of order, Your Honor.
She's baselessly
in Robert's
alleging.
Rules of Order, this is a complete violation of Robert's Rules of Order.
She is now baselessly alleging corruption through her flyer.
Ms. Adams,
We are in violation of Robert's Rules of Order.
Ms. Adams, you're out of order.
No,
These are council
not.
comments, and I get to make them. I have the floor.
You are out of order in
has
terms
the
You
of
don't
your
get to decide that, as your husband pointed out earlier. You're baselessly accusing every level of this city government of corruption with no regard whatsoever for whose reputations you're ruining in the process. It's a power play. It's Joe McCarthy tactics, pure and simple, and it was meant to intimidate us. You know, I have here in my hand a list of all the backroom deals the city manager and the mayor are attempting to ram through the council. Remember McCarthy? Those pages were mostly empty or gibberish. He didn't have any names. How much contempt must somebody like that have for the citizens of Carbondale to execute such a ruse on them, using such smear tactics, while hypocritically presenting herself as the paragon of clean and open government? I mean, we have real problems here. We really do, but irresponsible, alarmist, paranoid conspiracy theories cynically propagated by a shameless, publicity-starved, attention-seeking demagogue with delusions of grandeur. At best, they create destructive distractions to the real problems on which we as a city need to focus. Now, I guess I probably seem pretty angry about that, but I'm not, because I never expected anything better from Ms. Adams. I don't think she could disappoint me even now. It's more pathetic, really, than infuriating. So I don't say anything to admonish her, for such is wasted on those who at long last have no sense of decency. I pity those who refuse to see this for what it is. It's an insult to your intelligence, as Mr. Spain noted earlier, and that goes double for the media, who should have recognized its bovine stench. Ms. Adams has treated them like the credulous dupes who willingly give their bank account numbers and other personal information to a Nigerian dictator in order to help him and his widow get $80 million out of the country. I hope rational citizens will remember this rank publicity stunt in 2 years when her term of office expires, in case she chooses to run for re-election or, God forbid, ever seeks higher office. Unfortunately, we had a chance tonight, in part, to send a message that we would not be bullied around by such as her. We didn't do that. And it doesn't say much about the courage of this body.
That's right.
At 12:27, this meeting is adjourned.
Oh, that was really wonderful. Thank you, sir.